Now, have you ever thought of the life outcomes for young people that go to prison? They're quite low, to be fair. There is a direct pipeline from children that have been excluded and children that are in care that end up in prison. And we all know that once you've got a criminal record, the world looks at you differently. It treats you differently. And sometimes when you come out of prison and you go back into the same environment, you're expected to change. But is that fair? So welcome back to the Black and Raw podcast. I'm your host, Tino Tondela Vunzalbaya. Now I'm going to repeat that. Here's a podcast that's creating the dialogue and the space for black men to be their most authentic selves. Whether that's fair or not, there are people that buck the trend. There are people that go beyond the narrative. And my guest today, Javel Watts, does that exactly. You are going to hear about Javel's upbringing in this episode. There might be points that you maybe want to well up and cry, because hearing his story really almost made me well up and cry. I had to keep a straight face. But as I was listening to him, I could just feel the pain of the situation, the trauma, and his own lived experience of what he had to go through as a young man, as a boy, as a child. And the fact that he's out here now doing his work with Beyond the Narrative, going into public industries, talking about the care system, talking about prison, talking about prison reform and mental health and all of those things. Now that he's doing that, that's amazing. And I really hope you guys get some real inspiration from this episode. Before I show you the episode with Javel, I really need to get something from you guys. I need to hear your voice. I'm creating a survey, and it's going to be in the description so you can go there. But I want to hear what your thoughts are on the podcast in general, or my content if you follow my content. I want to hear from you. I need to hear from you so that we can make this podcast better, we can help this podcast grow, and that we can do things, we can do topics, we can do things that you might enjoy, and that we can just continue doing those things. So I want to hear from you guys. So the link is going to be in the description, so go check it out. And the last thing is enjoy the episode. Here's my conversation with Javel Watts. So Javel, welcome to the Black and Raw podcast. It's really good to have you on.
It's great to be here, bro.
So I came down here to Claxton-on-Sea. The weather is lush for England, which is surprising. You never really know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Like you were saying to me earlier that there was thunderstorms a few nights ago. So, but the weather's lush and I can't complain, to be fair. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for letting me come down.
Thank you for having me.
So, I mean, if we just get started in terms of for the podcast, obviously we've met and we've spoken over Zoom and Teams, over Zoom. And I think your story was just really inspiring. And I think as well, like as a social worker, like I come across so many kids that have been in care or that either like they are in care and I'm their social worker. But I wanted to just maybe ask you in terms of from your earlyhood experiences, like just be able to talk us through some of those things really in terms of what went on for you as a young lad.
Of course. So where it all started, I guess, I came to this country when I was 3 years old.
From where?
From Jamaica.
From Jamaica, okay.
Yeah, so with my biological mum when I was 3 years old. From what I can remember, things were quite turbulent, rocky. When we came, we were staying at different like family friends' houses and stuff like that. There was times we might have been sleeping on the floor in people's houses, sofa surfing, just not very stable, just moving around quite a lot. As a child, it didn't really mean much to me. I just know I was just going to sleep. I'm with my mum, innit? It's not really...
I've got food. It's warm. It's...
You don't really... the little things like that don't really bother you. Okay. You don't realise that it's a problem, yeah? But within that first year, I ended up getting put up for adoption. So I was adopted by an older Jamaican couple.
Okay.
And that was something I didn't understand either. So I can't tell you when it actually happened or anything. I don't remember the transaction happening. But I know I ended up with these people. And for a long while, I was under the impression that my adoptive father was my biological father. So living in that dynamic, because of how the adoption took place.
What do you mean how it took place?
It wasn't like the traditional route. It was just like a backhanded, like, yeah.
Like, here you go, you guys know each other.
Yeah,
take my kids.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Social work, you said you don't really remember, but I'm assuming social workers, was it involved or?
Nah, this is what I'm saying. It was just a handover.
So it's literally just a backhanded deal, like.
Yeah, just here's
my kid.
Yeah, literally just a one handover. So, I was under the impression that my adoptive father was my biological father. Yeah. But growing up, how I viewed things when I was a child was completely different to how I view things now. Like being introspective and managing to be aware and actually trying to understand people. Looking back at things, my adoptive mother, she really struggled with her mental health. Yeah. And my adoptive father, although he hid it very well, he had a problem when it came to alcohol. Okay. Which everything is very clear to me now, but as a child, it's not.
You're living it, aren't you? And I think a lot of the kids I work with, that's just their norm. That's just what they've been used to.
Yeah, there you go.
So you were going on about your adopted parents.
Because of the way that it happened, anybody outside of the household, they didn't know that these lot wasn't both my biological parents.
Yeah, okay.
So outside of the household, I was told to tell everybody that my adoptive mother was also my biological mother. Okay, so growing up, I used to listen to her tell people stories about when she gave birth to me, etc. Me knowing full well.
That's a bit far.
Me knowing full well. Who my biological mother was and is. Do you get it? So that's something that quite troubled me as a child. I became very manipulative. I became very good at lying. Yeah. And it was more so a thing where I know she loves me, but it was more a thing where she didn't know how to contain that love, if that makes sense. My adoptive mother.
Adopted mother, okay.
So I was like the golden child. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying?
Was it just one or were there multiple children?
They also had a daughter, but she's quite severely disabled, like learning difficulties. Yeah. But she's quite a bit older than me. Okay. So just being in that environment, there was a lot of things that I struggled with that I couldn't voice outside of the household. So from quite a young age, I had struggled with my anger. So I would say, just an example, the kind of kid that I was very intelligent when it came to education, like learning in class, so forth. Yeah. My problem was always in the playground. Okay. Yeah. Like I was the captain of the football team. I was always revered in quite a high light. But I just had a problem when it came to fighting and actually maintaining and managing my emotions. Around, I would say, like 10 years old, you know, you start playing outside with your friends, doing all of this stuff. Yeah, but around like a lot more. Yeah, so around 10 years old, I would say we started chilling with the older kids, so forth, and then that's when things started trying to like take a shift, essentially. So when people talk about exploitation, grooming, I never even perceived it as this until the last few years. Yeah. But yeah, they was getting us to sell drugs or whatever, hold knives, guns, whatever it may be. Like we're hitting shots for 50p, £1. As kids though, we're just viewing it as independence. So we can go to the shop and buy our own sweets, or we can go, like one of the best things was we're going to the chicken shop and we're buying a 2 for 2. We're feeling like adults. Yeah. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
I can pay for my own food now. Like,
stepped up in life. Yeah. My own food. So that carried on, and then
Can I pause you for a second? Because one, I'd love to get into that exploitation point, but I guess in terms of for you, you said that you got really good at lying and manipulating. I guess from what you saw of your adopted mother, and I don't know what their intentions were in terms of to say, let's just say that I'm your biological mom, but you're seeing her tell the whole world that, and you're like, but that's not true. Why? Yeah. Like, and I guess as a young boy, you were thinking, why are they sending me these mixed messages? Maybe not explicitly like that, but like that's just, your brain would figure it out to be like, nah, but they're not telling the truth, so that's where I am. I guess for you, like some of those patterns that maybe you saw from your adoptive parents, do you see those patterns in yourself when you were younger?
Most definitely. Yeah. That's why I said I became accustomed to lying. Yeah. I'm very manipulative because that's the environment that I was living in. That was my everyday. So it wasn't a problem. I didn't see anything wrong with it because this was just my life. Anybody outside of the house wasn't to know. It was all about imagery, how things appeared to everybody. Anything that took place inside the household, it wasn't to be shared outside. From quite a young age, I had, like, there was always friends around. And this is why I was saying, like, I was the golden child. So because obviously she knew she wasn't my biological mother, but she wanted that love from me.
Yeah.
She would create scenarios in order for me to become dependent or love her.
Could you give me an example, if you don't mind?
I've had friends staying around my house since nursery on weekdays, just every week. There's different people staying around my house. Like, my house was that house where everybody comes to.
Yeah.
Because they allowed it, because of the fact that they wanted me to love them. To be
like, oh, we have your mates around all the time. Like, it's that, you know, I do that and I feed them. So, so it's sort of that, like, because I'm doing this, you need to love me.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But what I didn't get, it was like, as a child, I started getting quite negative feelings towards my adoptive father, And I didn't understand until I got much older, but it was more so because, again, the orchestration of situations. So within my teenage years, for example, I've heard conversations where my adoptive mother's gone to him and told him, like, if I'll come and ask him for something, like, tell me no, like, shut it down, basically.
Okay.
Then she'll come to me and tell me to go and ask him.
What?
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that way, after I'm angry, I'm annoyed, whatever it may be,
come to me.
She swoops in and
That's
do you get what I'm saying?
Manipulative, yeah.
So everything was about creating this dependency on her. When everything kind of crashed and crumbled for me was age of 12. So I was still in contact with my biological mum. I used to see her here and there, but these guys didn't have a good relationship. She was always bad-mouthing them. They was always bad-mouthing her. It was quite turbulent as well. So that made me withdraw even more. Do you get what I'm saying? And also, so my little sister, she was born 5 years after me. And that was also something I kept internally.
Yeah.
I never voiced it, never questioned it, but inside my mind, it was just like, my mum didn't keep me, how come she kept my sister?
Yeah.
And I just didn't have the answers, but I didn't want to ask. Like, my thing as a child, I didn't ask questions that I possibly didn't want to know the answer to.
Yeah, I mean, adults do that now, you know.
You understand? So at the age of 12, how my mum I went to see my mum, how my mum's kind of disclosed it to me, she was just like, went on Facebook, and she showed me a picture of a boy on Facebook and was like, oh, Jay, like, look at this boy, like, do you think you look like him? And I was just like, I don't know why. And she was like, well, that's your brother. And I was just like, what? Like, what do you mean that's my brother? And she looked at me, like, and I'm not going to say my adoptive father's name, but she said his name, and she was just like, well, you didn't think so-and-so was your dad, did you?
Oh.
And I just looked at her. I didn't say nothing. I just shook my head and I just turned around and I just walked away. But in my mind, everything was beginning to fall apart. This whole, like, worldview just crumbled. Like, now I'm like, oh, I don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Like, my cousins, aunties, uncles, everyone I've been interacting with over these years, I'm not related to nobody.
Yeah.
So that means the lie that I thought I was telling about my adoptive mum, I'm actually just lying about my entire life.
Yeah.
I didn't know how deep this actually went. And then it became quite troubling, even more so, because now I've gone back to my home, and now when my adoptive mum's saying things to me like, oh, you guys look just like each other, you have his nose, etc., things like that.
About your...
Me to my adoptive father.
Oh, to your adoptive father, okay.
Yeah, so she would compare our features and stuff like that. As a kid now, I'm like...
That was backwards. Do you
understand?
You're selling the lie even more because
so I'm not getting it. Like, it's just not making sense to me. Yeah. So I've ended up in a position now where I've just completely withdrawn from my mum. I've withdrawn from them, and now this voice in my head is just like, yeah, you're obviously nobody wants you, innit? Like, like
you've got no belonging.
Yeah,
you've
like,
got no home, no family.
Literally. So I wanted independence. So everything that I was involved in already, I had two options in my mind. It's either I double down on everything that I'm doing, or I go and try and go and get a job.
Yeah.
So I've gone round to all the local shops as a 12-year-old kid, and ask them, like, can I get a job? They're
probably laughing at you.
Floor, like, whatever. They're just looking at me like, nah, like, there's no way.
Bro, you're 12.
Yeah,
like
there's no way.
You just finished secondary school.
Like,
you just started secondary school.
Do you get it? So afterwards, the only avenue that I felt that I had was to double down on everything that I was doing already.
Yeah. So I think I thank you for sharing that, because I think what you've gone through there is already so much for just a 12-year-old child. And I think I'm seeing it in my work a lot, where there's kids that are coming in a lot younger than sort of I expected, at least. But for yourself, that was quite a turbulent time in terms of you had your identity formed with this adoptive family. And that was full of sort of manipulation and lies and deceitfulness. For someone that was 8, 10, 7, 5, 4, for all of your formative years. And then it's really saddening. And listen, I say a lot that I think the parents and adults are just bigger children dealing with their own trauma.
100%.
It doesn't excuse them, but it just provides context into some of their behaviours. But still, for your biological mom to then shatter that illusion is, I think, as you said, at 12, just sort of broke you. And you were saying the stuff that you were already doing at 12, you mentioned exploitation and things like that. Can you talk to me and maybe it's only like reflecting on terms of what 13-year-old Javel was thinking and acting and behaving. But what was it for you in that time that you were up to, but then also, what was that feeling giving you?
Essentially, I wanted to be my own man. Like I said, independence. And it started off doing things for other people, etc., like at the young ages. And then it was like, nah, but that's not being a man. So I need to do this myself. Yeah. And then what that's ended up doing is that there's kind of a way that things kind of follow and flow. And there's this saying that people kind of have, and it's like, it's either you're with us or you're against us, Yeah. And that really became a thing, because now I'm saying, like, I just want to be independent. I'm just trying to be my own man, so I'm doing whatever the hell that I wanted to do. Yeah. And now it's causing friction between myself and the older people. Okay. Do you get it?
So even the older guys that were possibly exploiting you were sort of getting to a point where, like, now he wants to branch out on himself.
Yeah.
Like, who does he think he is? Like,
exactly that. So it's causing friction now. But, like, I've always had people gravitating around me. Yeah. Example being, like, I was the kid. I had so much responsibility from a young age, and I've never been that child. You know, like, people normally say their stories is like, oh yeah, I've been told I wouldn't amount to nothing. Yeah. I've never been told that. Okay. I've always been told, like, this kid's gonna do great things. Yeah. So as soon as everything kind of shattered for me, I didn't have anybody that I wanted to make proud anymore, because the only man in my life was my adoptive father. So I'm saying, like, genuinely, when I believed he was my biological father, I wanted to make this man proud. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying?
But now you didn't. You didn't need to anymore.
Now I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. And now all of these words that everyone's saying just feels like pressure. Like, why are you not putting this on me? Like, nobody don't even want me in the first place. So why do you think that I can do all of these great things? Do you get what I'm saying? So the only thing I saw was to earn independence from the streets, and what that looked like at a young age, not actually having guidance, is, fear, ruling by fear. Like, lashing out, being impulsive, being promiscuous. I started drinking, smoking, like, taking drugs at 12. Like, man, like, my life literally just got uprooted. Do you get it? I started rolling with knives, etc.
Were you still living with your adopted parents at this point? Okay.
Yeah.
So I imagine they probably were just like, we don't know what to do with him. Like, why is this all happening now? We can explain it.
There you go. There's the friction now, because I've been allowed to do kind of what I wanted to do to an extent. Yeah. It was never like the household where we sat around the table and ate together. It was a full, like, separate dynamic. So in the house where I grew up, had like a conservatory, then we also had the living room. Yeah. The conservatory was basically their living room. The living room was my living room. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So you just had
They ate their food, watched their TV and stuff in the conservatory. I had done everything in the living room. Yeah. We lived separate lives.
And there's not that parental sort of, no, we, as you said, having dinner at the dinner table,
Yeah.
that sort of oversight or boundaries
Yeah.
that had been put in. But I wonder if that was, like, in terms of you being adopted to them, that they were selling the lie of you guys being a family, but then at home you weren't a family, and they weren't showing that to you. And I think, as you were saying, when you then got to that point when you were 12 and 13, then that friction was happening even more at home.
Yeah. Because now I've got things, this is still something that's unspoken. It's not like I went to my mum's, this news was broke to me and I came back and addressed it.
Yeah.
Nothing was verbalized on any side. So now all I'm just doing is analyzing everything and thinking these comments that are coming out of my adoptive mother's mouth, like it's kind of scary, isn't it? I'm not understanding why she's lying in all these scenarios and I can't speak to nobody.
Yeah.
School, everything looks perfect.
I was going to say,
at home.
Yeah, you said you were also captain of your football team.
Yeah, all of this stuff.
Grades, so and that masks quite a lot in terms of if things look good at home.
Yeah.
Things look good at school, sorry.
And at home, as far as everyone can see, I've got a loving mother because, like I said, I'm the golden child. Like, she's there. All she speaks about is me.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So this just looks like a loving situation, this, that, whatever. But inside, I'm hurting. So it's easy to miss. So my anger, people are probably questioning, why is he so angry? Like, what's actually going on? Or maybe they're not even questioning that. They're just thinking that I just got bad behaviour.
Yeah.
It's not really, like, they can't see anything on the surface. Like, everything looked good at home. So it's carried on like that for a little while and things just got worse and worse. And like the secondary school that I went to, I never really had friends like that, although I had friends. Like, I've always been quite popular.
Yeah.
But I've never really had friends. Does that make sense?
So you've got, so you've got lots of people that know you, but you don't have someone who you can go to.
Yeah, they have an image of me.
Yeah, but they don't
Nobody knows me.
Yeah.
They just know this image of who Javel is.
Javel, confident, plays football.
And then everybody started loving me for my faults, the things that I struggled with. So my anger, I used to be in these vicious cycles where I end up angry over a situation. It could be the dumbest situation. Like, somebody could tell me, shut up, or somebody's looking at me funny. And I'm like, who does this person think they are? Like, angry. And now things are going on where it needs my attention. I need to be positive, or I need to be able to engage. So now I'm frustrated because I can't engage because I'm angry. So I'm getting angry at the fact that I'm angry and I don't want to be angry. So I'm going around in this vicious cycle. Yeah. And I was very reactive. So I'd fight a lot. And I had this thing about, so looking back at it, I understand it like this, yeah. I hated people who acted like something that they weren't.
Yeah.
Because my whole life had been a lie.
Yeah.
So I couldn't understand, I wasn't lying by because I wanted to. This was what I had to do. This was just my dynamic.
Yeah.
So when people were pretending to be something that they're not, and I don't understand what your life is like, but from the surface, again, looking at things from the outside, it doesn't look like you have any reason to lie. Why are you trying to be this person that you're not? I don't even want to be this person. Do you know what I'm saying? Now I'm calling people out. I'm just like, bro, you're not really like that, innit?
You're not that guy.
Yeah, you're not really like that.
Pull your trousers up, stop sagging, like, it ain't you.
So I'm in situations in school where there's kids bullying other kids, like literally vulnerable kids. And I'm like, bro, like, but you're not like this. Why are you bullying them? So I'm interfering now. And then what started happening is, whenever I'm breaking up fights, the person who's doing the bullying, they might say something to me. Now I'm going to beat you up.
And then they look at you to be like, oh, now he's hurt somebody, rather than actually you were trying to break up a fight.
It genuinely became a thing where I would get detentions. If there was a fight in school and I was even anywhere in the vicinity, I'm getting a detention. Because
they just thought you were involved somehow.
Somehow, some way, I'm just getting a detention. So I started hating school because I'm like, bro, I've just got a strong sense of justice. Do you get it? And I didn't like nobody in this school. Like, I didn't talk to nobody in school or outside of school like that anymore. So these times I'm just doing everything that I'm doing, but nobody really knows me. So there's just rumors. Like, I heard Javel's in the gang. I heard Javel does this. I heard Javel sells drugs. Nobody knows for definite.
And then that circles also what the teachers think about you as well, to be like, oh, we're hearing these rumors. But if a teacher actually took the time to sit down and to talk to you, they'd probably find out that there's actually just a really vulnerable kid there. But
this is the thing. The teachers had sympathy for me, bro. which I didn't understand, and I couldn't get why. There was a few teachers that saw, but they didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
So like I had one teacher, yeah, big up Mr. Amafio, yeah. I had one teacher,
If you're watching, you should send this to him if you get his email.
Ain't spoke to the brother in years. So he was like a CCW teacher, citizenship, yeah. But like once a week, and this is the thing, this is the trouble. Obviously, he's a teacher, so he's got to teach classes, etc. The only free time that he has for me is on his lunch break, like on our lunch break. So I'm like, bro, like, why are you calling me into your classroom to sit down and try and chat to me? Yeah,
when I
during lunch, like, why are we in here? Why am I in here? So I'm not really taking it in, but he's seeing
that you need it,
the dynamic, and he's trying to support me. But I'm not seeing it like that as a kid. I'm saying, bro, what's wrong with this guy? Like, why does he keep calling me in here? Like, I'm not getting it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And how my life was going at this time, like, and it was quite obvious. Like, there was older kids picking me up from school, like big cars, this, that, all of that kind of lifestyle.
The signs are obvious. The signs are there, aren't they?
I'm smoking weed on my way to school. I'm cutting, like, bunking from school on break time because I'm not enjoying breaks. So I'm bunking out, like climbing fences or doing whatever to get out of school, go smoke weed and going back to school. Like,
and then everyone knows you're high, or they're not first.
I don't know, like they're not paying attention. But there was a few teachers that actually went above and beyond for me. Another one, Miss Guard, yeah? Okay.
Miss Guard.
Yeah, like going above and beyond for me. Like they saw something in me, whether they had the right training or they had the right resources. They did what they could to try and support me in these situations, and I would admit that, innit? But I just wasn't at the place to actually see what it was that they were doing. They weren't the right people to deliver the message.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And I think sometimes you need to get a young person at the right time as well. Like your timing is hugely important as much as your delivery.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's hard to get a kid when they're in crisis to sort of bring them down. But then
there's a lot of damage control.
They're always in crisis. There's
a lot of damage control that needs to take place,
Yeah.
And it's like you can have the right message, but you be the wrong messenger.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is what I try to say to people now. It's like if you're going to try and work with young people, you got to appeal to their version of success, to break down these initial barriers, to make yourself a credible individual. It's got to be somewhere where we can bridge this gap. Like, I got to understand that you really understand where I'm coming from. Otherwise, it's a thing where I can make excuses easily, because that's where it is at the end of the day. Your defense mechanisms go up, and I'm going to say to you, but what do you know about walking in my shoes, or what do you know about living my life? So once that barrier is there, then it's easy for me to say, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know who I am, or you don't know. But now if there's some sort of similarity,
you can break that barrier.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is another thing. So like when you go into these circumstances, a lot of young people, to them, their version of success is big car, like jewelry, big watches, whatever it is. So immediately, just from having a watch on, you might break down that barrier immediately. And this young person saying, okay, he's got a Rolex. He's somebody to listen to.
Yeah.
Like he's made it.
I think everyone would do that, isn't it? If you saw someone with a Rolex, you'd be like,
this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. And there's certain things that when it comes to the road life, it's like there's stamps of approval. But then it's like the facade with it all is this person that's got that Rolex, they might have been on the road selling drugs for the last 10 years, been to jail 3 times. They just got their first Rolex. But all anyone sees is the Rolex. They're not seeing like the death, the danger, the risk of police, the stress, the lack of sleep, all of this
looking over your shoulder all the time.
Paranoia.
The whole shebang.
To this very day, my door cannot knock. If you did not tell me, like if I wasn't expecting somebody to be at my door can't knock, and I'm not like, oh my gosh, like who's at my door? Like I'm absolutely losing my head.
You're still seeing the impacts of that now, and that was about probably 10 years ago.
10 plus.
10 plus years ago.
10 plus years ago, do you understand? So all of these dynamics, they contributed to where I ended up. I ended up getting kicked out of school year 9, towards the end of year 9. And even that, I got kicked out for something that I didn't do. But because of the rumours and
the
this
reputation,
the reputation, people just expected me to have done it.
Yeah.
Like they accused me of robbing somebody at knife point. I was literally off school. I was sick for the entire week. I didn't leave my house. I've come back and everyone's like, yeah, Javel, we heard you robbed this guy at knife point. I'm saying, what? I don't even know who the guy is that they were talking about. I don't even know his name. Yeah? Never heard of this guy in my life. Yeah? So I'm like, nah, they gotta be joking. Like, nah. Like.
So you were saying got kicked out in year 9.
Yeah.
Well, for a room for apparently you stabbing somebody.
Yeah, robbing somebody.
Robbing
at
someone,
knife point.
sorry, at knife point.
Yeah. So I'm hearing everybody talking about it. All of a sudden, they're taking like people that's chilling with me into the office, and they're telling. I'm just like, what did they say to you? They're like, yeah, if you're involved with Javel, you're gonna get excluded. I'm saying, what? Like, so they're obviously gonna kick me out. I don't even want to be at the school anyways. Just kick me out. Like, just kick me out. You lot are taking the mic.
It's
like,
self-fulfilling prophecy a bit, wasn't
like,
it?
just kick me out, bro. Like, why do you have me here? You're threatening to kick out other people if they're involved with me. Just kick me out, yeah? Allow it, like, forget all of this. I don't even want to be here in the first place. Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, this little mosquito trying to trouble me.
Trying to gnaw on you.
Proper trying to gnaw on me still. My blood's juicy. So I'm in this situation now, and I've overheard the deputy head teacher talking to another teacher about me. So I'm like, oh, so there's some credence to this. And they've seen me, and they've just like stopped talking and just, like moving suspicious. So I'm like,
you know someone's talking about you when they stop.
Yeah,
as soon as
like
you
I've
walk
heard
in
them
the
say
room,
my name, and they looked at me and just stopped talking and just walked off. I'm like, all right, cool. The next day I've come into school, I'm in isolation. No words, nobody said nothing to me, just isolation.
They just put you straight in isolation.
Yeah. So I'm in isolation. I've just started like kind of acting out even more now. I'm just, teachers telling me, put my phone away, you're not allowed your phone. I'm saying, whatever, I'm playing my music. Like, if there's a problem, kick me out in it. Like this is ridiculous.
How long did they keep you in that sort of situation before?
In this limbo state.
In this limbo state before just kicking you out?
Probably like a month or 2.
See, that's just so, because there was actually no, from what you've said, there probably was no evidence that you actually were there, but it was all based on rumours and the reputation that the school had of you, that you were kept in a limbo for this long. And I think for children, that's so poor, because especially kids now, they needed things to be explained to them.
100%.
Like,
I was a person, I crave understanding.
Yeah.
So I'm already in the situation where I don't even understand what's going on with me outside of school. But now school wasn't an environment I liked anyways, but now it's an environment I'm beginning to hate.
Yeah. And
just for understanding of what kind of person I was at that school, yeah, from all of this stuff happened, and I realized my adoptive father wasn't my biological father. I got to year 9 and there was people coming up to me in school like, I've never seen you smile before. I've been there for 3 years.
That's really interesting.
Teachers as well as students. I've been there for 3 years. I've never seen you smile before. And I started writing a book here, and what I've explained in my book here is, to me now, my smile became leverage. I grew up in a manipulative manner anyways, lying a lot and so forth, and I'm seeing like, all people are picking up on is that I'm not smiling. Smiling is not a big thing. I just don't smile like that. I ain't really got nothing to smile about. But now, all I've got to do to make you feel away is smile.
Smile, yeah, true.
And you're thinking, yo, I've got a breakthrough. Yeah. Like, I've done something.
He's all right. Yeah, we've got a bond here.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? So I've just a one little smile and I'm cutting through. Like, so I'm like, rah, this is crazy. But the actual point where I got kicked out was, they finally called me into the office, like the head teacher's office, asking me questions. I'm saying, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Genuinely.
Yeah. Were they the police? Were police with them there? Nothing?
Nah, it's just
Judge,
the head
jury,
teacher.
and executioner.
Just the head teacher, deputy head, and I think like my head of year or something, yeah? So they're asking me all these questions. I'm saying, like, I genuinely don't know what you're talking about and that. And then they must have said something to me like, oh, do you have anything that you want to say? And I was just like, don't want to swear, but yeah, this is effing stupid.
Yeah.
And they was like, make sure you write down that he's being, whatever they...
aggressive. Or,
and I'm like, you know what? And my actual thing was, I was like, you know what, all of you can just suck your mums, innit? And that was like my final breaking point. I was just like, I just walked out of the school. And to me, I went out in style in my head, like, this is... like the ego playing up, my reputation, all of this stuff.
So the last camera following you out,
the last day everybody's seeing me
is
me walking out of the school, the head teacher, deputy heads running after me, Javel, come back, and I'm saying, nah, like, F off, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's watching like, oh, and that was the last time anybody saw me in school.
The beginning of like a Top Boy protagonist.
Yeah, that was the last time anybody saw me in school. And then what they actually used as evidence, because I didn't do anything then, I just walked out of school. What they used as evidence is, They went around to different students and they like blacked out their names, like had witness statements, and they asked people questions like, what do you think of Javel? And people was like, oh, he doesn't talk to anyone. He's scary, he's kind of intimidating. I heard he's in the gang, I heard he sells drugs. Nobody's saying anything definite. So I heard this, I heard that. And that's what they used as the evidence to kick me out of the school.
Wow.
So then I've ended up going to a pupil referral unit. Again, in a position where my teachers was like, oh, you're such a bright kid. And I've had a teacher who's wanted to help me. And he's tried to reintegrate me back into a mainstream school. Because once you reach a certain point, there's no reintegration happening because it's too late now. In terms of GCSEs, all of this stuff. So he tried to get me into another secondary school, yeah? And he's managed to do so successfully. On the first day, I've ended up getting kicked out.
Well, what happened on that first day? Was it just trying to get him back in those routines and and I guess the authority? Because I know people...
Nah, man, this reputation.
Okay. Oh.
I've joined this school. First day now, don't know anyone, minding my own business, in class, doing what I'm doing, my work, whatever. It's come to lunchtime now. You know, I hate lunch. Like, I don't know what to do with myself, all of this stuff. And somebody said, like, my tag name, yeah, what people know me as. So I'm like, I don't know nobody here. Like, and so I was like, what's going on? And basically saying to me, like, how he knows me or knows of me, whatever, mutuals, this, that, whatever, yeah. So I was like, cool. So I've ended up rolling with this guy. I don't know nobody else.
Yeah.
So they had this bit at the back of the school where everybody used to smoke cigarettes, yeah? Like behind some tree. So I'm seeing, like...
Every school had that spot.
I'm seeing enough people here. So I'm saying, all right, cool, it's not that deep. Like, everybody else is like, it's calm. So I'm smoking a cigarette there, yeah? And this guy's come over to me and he's like twos me, so like, wants half of the cigarette.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at him like, I don't know you. Like, why am I going to give you half of my cigarette? I don't know you. And he was just like, yeah, well, majority of us here don't know each other. It's just like what we do. And I was like, I don't know if you've realised or not, but I'm new here. I don't care what you do, innit?
Yeah.
But what I didn't realise was this person was somebody in this school. So as soon as I've said that now, everybody's, doing that thing, ooh.
Yeah.
And now
this guy,
it's became a thing. It's became something much bigger than what it was initially. Now the guy's ego's hurt. His reputation's at
I'm
risk.
the top dog in the school. You're the new kid.
Like,
yeah.
And
sounds like an American high school.
Yeah, now this guy's like to me, like, fight me. I'm saying, you're mad. Like, this is my first day. Do you think I'm really going to fight you? You're absolutely crazy,
Let's
bro.
scrap on the first day.
So, now, what's happened? He's going on. I think he must have kicked me or something, yeah? And I'm just there looking at him. My ego's flared up now. I've got out my phone in front of him and I've called my friends from outside and I'm saying, you lot, like, after school,
we're going to pattern this guy.
Yeah, it's that. Like, just so he can hear and everyone can hear, like, it's that, innit? Like, just hung up the phone and I've just walked off. Yeah, so now...
Is that like a fear tactic on so like he could hear, oh, I've got people that can also come and
like, bro, like, I've been trying to be a good guy.
Yeah.
You've crossed the boundary now. Like,
now it's too late.
Yeah, bro, like, this is it, innit? Cool. Ironically, what's ended up happening, my teacher from study centre has come after school to check on me my first day, chat to the teachers, etc. And he's like, I'm going to drop you home.
Okay.
Yeah?
Seems really nice of the teacher.
He's like, I'm going to drop you home. I'm thinking, nah, like, I meant to get it popping after school. Can't just drop me home. Like. So he's like, nah, I'm insisting. So we're walking out of school. And this was in an area called Southall. So the kid that I had, it was like an Afghanistani, yeah? So I've come out of school now and there's like 30 Afghan youths, like outside of like they're staring at me.
Jeez.
Yeah? And my teacher looked at me and was like, do you know them? Because they're all looking at me, like their eyes are on me.
Wait, so this was the top dogs guy. So he had his own guys. He had his own guys.
Yeah, so I'm walking now and I'm kind of smirking like, oh yeah, like this is crazy. Like, me and my teacher's walking past them. Got in the car now.
No one tried anything?
Nah.
Okay.
Like, I'm with the teacher, innit?
Yeah.
So it's just looking a bit like you don't know who this brother is. He's like he could be a Fed. Like, you don't know who this guy is, yeah? So he kind of said he's going to drop me home. I made an excuse that I was supposed to be meeting my friend at McDonald's or whatever. So I got out of the McDonald's, like, ran back up, ended up getting into whatever drama. And the actual guy has gone to the teachers because he's ended up, they found out or whatever, and he's gone to the teachers and told them it's me.
So this guy snitched.
Yeah.
Yeah, he asked for the fight.
Do you understand? So now
I'm gonna call him a pussy.
Like, bro, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So I've ended up getting kicked out, and then I've got sent to another pupil referral unit. And story just goes on. It's just the same kind of, like the other pupil referral unit, it was an environment where you're going there, like they started bringing in metal detectors and stuff like that, but everybody's going into school with their knife on them. It was just normal now.
Yeah, everyone's getting caught as
everyone's got weed, everyone's got knives on them, everyone's got their balaclava, everybody, like, this is it's not pencil case and notebooks anymore. This is the standard for school.
Yeah.
You have your knife on you, you have your whatever you're doing, weed, everyone's selling drugs, so now it's like, if your ego or you're trying to be seen or you're in this position where you're used to being at the top, everyone's battling for that now.
Yeah.
There's loads of egos clashing, people from different areas meeting and
possibly like, different rival gangs as well.
Do you understand me? So it was just a difficult environment to navigate. And the comparison, like I've done a few talks on like the school to prison pipeline stuff. And when you're in an environment where there's bars on the windows and like, this is not school anymore.
Yeah.
You're focused on just purely behavioural aspects. You've got 10 kids in a class that are all different skill levels when it comes to education, but we're all doing the same work.
Yeah.
So now the people that are more advanced, you're not going to really be like... You're
not going to be engaged in it because you're like, this is too easy.
Do you understand?
But then I guess the ones that are a bit lower in terms of probably need more help, but then I imagine the environment of the class maybe doesn't allow someone to ask for help either. Especially if maybe if it's a group of lads, you're like... Oh,
yeah, you're not going to ask because everything's about imagery.
Yeah.
And how things look and being vulnerable or not being vulnerable. But I was in a position, there was a point, I've got kicked out of my house. I was living with one of my drug users, I'm like 15. I'm living with one of my drug users for like 3-4 months. He's a man in his 40s, and he's dropping me to school every day. He's picking me up. So at this study centre, we was allowed out on break and lunchtime.
Yeah.
He's picking me up at lunchtime. We're going to hit shots and he's dropping me back to school. And this was my life. Like this guy who smokes crack and heroin is dropping me and picking me up from school every day.
Literally giving me a house and somewhere to live. And yeah.
Like this was my life. I'm going into school every day with £1,000 on me, £2,000 on me. Do you get what I'm saying, bro? Like the way that my life was at this point, like I thought I was a grown man. There was nothing you could have told me that's not going to make me think I'm a grown man. Yeah,
you're going through puberty and your brain is changing every single day of the week.
Yeah, like it was a lot. Like we're having knife fights in class. The teacher's writing on the whiteboard, knives out, and we're trying to stab each other in class. As soon as the teachers turn around, we're hiding our knives like under the chair, like laughing. Like literally, this was the environment that it was at school.
Life
bro.
and death. Life.
Like we're literally, like this was the environment that it was at school, bro.
So how did that, in terms of, you talked about some of the talks that you've done in terms of school, from the pipeline from school to prison. In terms of like, you've spoken about quite a lot of your own upbringing and your childhood and your schooling. And I think schools, I think kids face a lot of rejection from schools. And it's sad because for you, that was about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. But then there's kids now that are going to pupil referral units and being suspended and put in isolation for how many days on end. It doesn't feel like the approach has changed at all.
No, not whatsoever.
Which is kind of saddening, really.
But the only thing I can say, obviously I wasn't aware of this kind of side of the sector, this work before. But when it comes to the lived experience stuff or the trauma-informed training, I think trauma-informed training should be compulsory to anyone that has 100%. Any sort of care duty.
Yeah.
It should be compulsory, a standard of work ethic that you have to hit before you can start working with anybody, especially vulnerable people.
Yeah. Because
these are signs, there's so much signs that are there to spot.
Like for you, the fights, the anger, maybe the if as you're saying, someone's literally a 40-year-old drug user dropping you off to school and dropping you back up. I'm surprised that we haven't mentioned social workers yet at all, really. Obviously I am one. So that's why I'm a bit like, where were the social workers in terms of in that time?
Crazy, yeah.
Hold on, can I just change?
This is where it gets crazy because it's like, cool, 16 years old now, I'm in that school. I ended up getting stabbed, So the knife pierced my lung, my diaphragm, my liver, my intestines, They said it was a centimetre away from my heart.
Wait, where did... So
So I
how...
got stabbed here in my left
Yeah,
side of my chest,
okay.
and then just the left side of my of my leg, yeah, my upper leg. So it's like I've spent about 5-6 weeks in hospital, and that was a
Wow.
whole experience in itself. But what became interesting to me, or what I'm going to bring up, yeah, so they started at that point then they started involving social workers probably more heavily, this, that. And I've ended up going to prison, yeah, because the guy that stabbed me went to the police about me, a situation that took place 6 months before, yeah. So I've ended up going to prison at 16, got remanded for a number of charges, false imprisonment, ABH, GBH, possession of a offensive weapon, numerous things, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I've read my social worker file, because obviously they've got to do yacht reports and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
I've read my social worker file, and
When
they're
did
saying,
you
yeah,
when did you read that? What age
when I
were
was
you?
the 16.
Oh, they showed you it when you were 16?
When I was in jail.
Oh, yeah, you have to read your report,
Yeah,
don't
when
you?
I'm in jail, and I'm reading this stuff, and it's like, yeah, known drug dealer, like gang member, like you lot know this. I used to be a kid, like this is what scrambles my head. I used to be the kid, yeah. If you like the road that I lived on, you'd see me running up and down that road. I used to run and go hit shots. Like I'm in and out the house every 5 minutes. I've got shots meeting me outside my house, like down the road, like.
Yeah.
I wasn't secretive. I've grown up on this road. Like people know me. Like because of how I was, my ego was so big. It was like I'm untouchable.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. I just do what I want to do. And then it became apparent that all of these adults was aware of some sort of struggle, but nobody did anything. I'm in jail now, and I'm reading stuff that's became very apparent that you guys knew that I was involved in whatever I was involved in, but nobody stepped in to save me. Nobody stepped in to help me. Nobody like.
Yeah. And that part is odd, because as a social worker, we have lots of information. I can't share it, or we can't share. But we have lots of information about young people and young children and things that come in. There would have been people that, would have seen you shot in and going up and down roads. They would have been like, I'm just seeing a kid come in and out of houses. And they would have called that into children's services. So I am surprised that your first involvement with a social worker was 15, 16, when you're about to go into jail. Someone has missed the mark wholly. Yeah. Because even schools should have been putting in referrals about,
do you understand?
He's been suspended, or we've seen, we're really worried about this child. So it is really a sad indictment. I don't know whether that's changed more now. I think kids still slip through.
100%. There's a number of kids that still slip through the cracks, because people are looking at the end result, which is the behaviour, instead of looking underneath the surface. The end result, and why I say end result, the behaviour is, once you can no longer manage things, it starts manifesting in different ways.
Behaviour, yeah.
So that behaviour is a series of, or a compilation of years of stress, trauma, pain, anguish, whatever it is, and this is how it's coming out now. But instead of dealing with that and the symptoms, you're saying you don't like how I express myself. That's all people are saying. When you're punishing the behaviour, you're saying, I don't agree with how you express your pain. Instead of dealing and acknowledging the fact that I've got pain, you're just saying, I don't like how you express it.
Or say it how you're expressing it, as you're saying. Because it's not like, I'll sit down, have a mature conversation. Yeah. You're a kid.
And that's the big problem with all of this. People are not actually looking beneath the surface. Like there's so many red flags to be able to support a child, and it all starts with the behaviour. It's the indicator. It's not the thing to punish, it's the indication that there's something wrong here.
Something is wrong here, yeah. And so for you, in terms of moving on, what you said you went to prison. What was that first night like when you were remanded?
No matter what anybody says, there's an element of fear when you're going to prison. A huge element of fear, because you don't know what you're stepping into, and all you know is like going into a new, when you first go pupil referral unit, it's like, I know I'm going into a place where everybody's like me now. So your guard's immediately up. Like, it's all bad kids there, innit? So what does that look like?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
How am I going to survive?
Yeah, like this literally it. It's not to say necessarily I'm fearing for my life, but I'm thinking survival is what you've been taught and what you know best. So I'm thinking, how do I survive in this situation? Literally, like what's the dynamic? What's this gonna be like? And to me, it comes down to like, that situation taught me how to be myself a bit more.
Okay. How so? Explain.
I've always been curious about behaviour and understanding people. Like when I realised that my anger was my biggest downfall at that point, which was the reason I ended up in jail. So I'm blaming my anger. I'm angry at my anger. And so I thought the first thing I can do is try and understand others so I don't get angry. So I started reading psychology books and stuff like that whilst I'm in jail. And I was in a dark place. But then I've looked at everybody and I realised, that everybody's doing what they're doing to impress others. It doesn't matter, like, you might have trauma, whatever that there is under the surface, but it's not even about that anymore. Right now, we're just doing this to impress each other. And I'm like, I don't care about what these people think about me. I know what I'm capable of and what I've been doing already. I don't know these guys from anywhere. I don't need to prove points in here because I don't actually know anyone. Because obviously I grew up in West London and the first jail I went to was in Kent. So aside from people from Kent, there's people from East London and South London. Yeah, there's nobody really from West London. So there's nobody that has this imagery of me, this expectation of who I'm supposed to be. So I'm like, I actually don't care because I've been surrounded by expectations and this imagery and reputation my whole life and I haven't liked it.
Yeah.
That example, when I say about reputation, I was in the park with my friend one day, we must have been in like year 8, year 9. And I was in the park with my friend and some little kid in year 7 has come up to me and he's like, "You're Javel." Don't know who this kid is. He didn't even go to my school.
Yeah, he just knew your reputation.
"You're Javel." It's like, no, I'm not. Like, nah, you're Javel.
Yeah.
And what he said to me shocked me, because he said, obviously, he gets in trouble quite a bit at school. So they done a assembly or they done like whatever, some meeting with like all of the kids that they was kind of concerned about. And I was the focal point. They used me as a example.
Don't be like this kid.
This kid was incredibly smart, blah, blah, blah. And then Javel went down the wrong road. And this is what I'm hearing from some little kid in year 7 who I don't know from Adams. But reputation, this is what I'm saying. So now I'm in this environment where I'm like, oh, the reputation it doesn't matter. I can be whoever I want to be. So I started thinking about what can I actually do whilst I'm in it? What do I actually enjoy doing? Because I got some sort of freedom.
Yeah.
So
you've got time as well. No?
Yeah. So once I got over everything, not even got over, but got through the darkness, because I was more concerned around what was going on outside, like my internal issues, etc. Instead of being focused on what people was focused on in there, like combating each other and all of this, I just didn't care, innit? So I started challenging myself. By the time I left, I'd gotten invited to Parliament either once or twice. So I was on a panel about mental health within the prison establishment.
Yeah.
And then I also took part in the David Lammy review, all from prison whilst I was in prison the first time that I went prison as a little kid. I was the only young person, like prisoner, sitting in the governor's meetings in the prison, like with all the psychologists and these people and that people, helping them to think about policies and what would work good in the prison and what. I'm the only person in there, like the only prisoner in there.
Yeah. And what did that do for you while you were inside, being in the government? Did you have? I mean, from what I've heard, you didn't care what anyone thought about you, or tried to prove anything to anyone. Did that change when you were in those bigger rooms now? Because some people might be like, "Oh, now I have to adopt my behaviour." Did you sort of remain to?
Nah, because I didn't even realise. And at the same time, I grew up, like I said, manipulative. So I could easily switch
between two. You're fine doing it. Yeah.
I've always been like that. It doesn't matter whether it was school, whatever the environment is. I was polite. I was brought up to be polite. I was brought up to be a certain way, appear a certain way.
Yeah.
So I was very good when it came to imagery. So that wasn't really a problem for me. But I think the first time it actually opened my eyes to different perspectives was on that journey. I was walking through central London with a few of the staff, like psychologists, prison staff. And everybody's looking around like everything's so beautiful. And I'm just like, what? What are you lot seeing? I'm not seeing. I'm like my man's a drug user. My man's a drug dealer. He's this, he's a gang member. And I'm like, I don't see what you guys are seeing. And that's the first time it clicked in my head, like, oh my gosh. Like, we live in different realities. There's different perspectives. There's different ways that people see life. I didn't understand that. I wasn't
Yeah.
aware of that before. I thought everybody is on the same wavelength to some degree.
Yeah. But people's lives are very oblivious to it. And I think, as you're saying, as you get more into that work that you do, I think as well for me as a social worker, there's so much more that you know that goes on in a certain place. Like you work, like I'm not going to say where I work in necessarily, but I work in a nice town, little village, and you think, oh, nothing goes on here. But then so much goes on.
So much goes on.
And that's just a different perspective because I know what's going on, but then there are people in that environment that don't know and that are really far removed from it because maybe their house has a really nice gate and their house is much further back and nobody comes up their road or anything along those lines. And for those people in Parliament, it's very different. Mm-hmm. That's one thing which I get a bit frustrated by is that when people are making these policies and putting these think pieces together, that they haven't. I know they try and get people of lived experience, but I wish the person of lived experience was driving it.
And this is the mission right now. This is the mission because cool. I understand that we label things as lived experience, yeah? We label things as lived experience as a way to categorize things, yeah? But I think adding that lived in front of the experience, yeah, also reduces to a degree the credibility in some areas because it's just saying like these are just people that's been through things or whatever. But the essence of life is experience. It doesn't matter whether you're in school, university, religion, whatever it is. It's all learning about life from other people's experiences. Do you understand what I'm saying? And we don't go and just label something as lived experience in these different areas, although that's what it is. It's lived experience as well. When you're reading stories about John, Jacob, whoever it is, this is lived experience. Do you get what I'm saying?
How so? In terms of like, you're learning about life through someone else. You're experiencing
through
it through someone else.
Through somebody else's experience.
Which is all like podcasting, right?
Yeah, that's literally everything about life is lived experience. So when it comes to the negatives, like the hardships of life, there's a lot of people who haven't experienced even a fraction of the things that myself or a lot of the other people that I work with have been through. Yeah. But at the same time, we're reading about it. We're reading about it data-wise, theory-wise, and these are the things that's trying to be implemented, yeah? But then it's like, if you go to university, you've got a degree. There's jobs that's not going to take you on unless you've got the experience. So it shows you how important the experience is, especially
100%.
The experience is more important than the degree.
Yeah, it is. And you're like, how am I going to get the experience if no one's going to give it to me? And then, and that's another.
So when it comes to life experience, now it's like, for you to fully understand where somebody sits, or where somebody's coming from, you either have to really be compassionate and yearn to understand, or you've had to walk in that person's shoes. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's the gap, that's the difficulty, that's the sweet spot when it comes to lived experience. I think when it comes to theory and lived experience, the experience side, things have to be met in the middle for you to have a full picture.
Yeah. And I don't think as you said, you'll never get a full experience in terms of walking through someone else's shoes.
Until you actually get there, or it affects your life in some sort of way.
Yeah.
People are not interested in people are not interested in what's going on outside, until it has something to, until it's in your home and it's affecting you directly. And an example of this is, and I'm going to say this on every podcast that I go on every platform that I have, stop trying to force people to be something that they're not, or stop trying to force them to be ready before they're ready. And I say that because it's like, when I was in school, one of my friends, he said he got a girl pregnant, or he thinks. He's not sure, he won't know if it's his child until he sees the child.
Bit late for that.
Do you understand? So I'm there like, all right, cool. And when we've gone back to school,
where were we at?
Yeah, so I'm in school, my friend said he's got someone pregnant, who he thinks. And when he's found out that it's actually his kid, I laughed hysterically. Absolutely laughed my head off.
Why?
I didn't understand what he was going through, what he was dealing with. I don't get it, bro. Like, what? It's not my life. It don't affect me. Literally, this is what I'm saying.
Baby, come in.
It doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
So I just didn't acknowledge. I didn't take a step to think about what's this like for him. Nothing.
Yeah.
I just laughed. it took me having my own child 7 years later and acknowledging like, bro, this is not easy. I had to apologize to him, bro. 7 years later for laughing at him when we were kids.
Yeah. Did you remember it?
Of course he remembered it, bro. It's a hardship that he's dealing with, and I was his friend, and I'm just laughing at him.
Yeah. I shouldn't be laughing, but
7 years later, 7 years later is when I actually, because now it's something
now
that's
it's hitting
affected
you.
my life.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, and it's taken that for me to actually click and be able to see eye to eye with him, bro, to understand what he's going through.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I've done training and for staff, for numerous different staff, social workers, police officers, probation, whatever it may be, yeah? And there's some people that if you feel like your purpose, yeah, you're doing everything you need to do. You're putting food on the plate, on the table for your family. You're keeping a roof over your heads. You're doing everything you need to do. Now, work's telling you need to go above and beyond and start caring about people. I'm like, what? Like, I'm doing everything that I need to do already. Like, if we want, it works vice versa. If we're saying we need people to understand where we're coming from, what it feels like to walk in our shoes, we also need to give compassion and say, there's also a right to not want to know.
Yeah.
If I'm being a good person by my standard, I'm not actually troubling anyone or doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just not caring about people that don't directly affect me or matter to me. Yeah? I should have the right to do that. But now, the difference is the responsibility for me, it comes down to who's at the top, who's the boss, who's the employer. Because those people that don't want to work with those, like people that may need extra support, they don't have the capacity, yeah, then put somebody who does.
Who does have it,
And also, if that's what you want people to do to be able to work to this standard, put incentives, pay rises, whatever it may be, to encourage people to make that decision for themselves.
Yeah.
Because you can't force somebody to do something that they're not ready or they don't want to do.
Do you think our system is then, our social workers, our teachers, our police officers, do you think that is what is happening?
Yeah, 100%. 100%, because I've seen it in prison, I've seen it in schools, I've seen it in probation, I've seen it. You have good people that can join these roles and they end up getting tainted by the ones who live or work a particular way. But these people generally join these roles because they've got big hearts and they actually want to help. But now the difficulty is, whatever policies, whatever rigid structures that are in place, you
have to abide by them to as you're saying,
to a degree. But this is the thing: the best people that anyone remembers, any worker, any teacher, anyone, is the people that go above and beyond. They're not doing specifically what they're told. Like, that's it. Yeah. They don't draw the line there. They use initiative.
Yeah, true.
You're compassionate enough to see, all right, cool. Policy says, that I just work with kids in the class. This teacher went out of his way to say, no, on my lunchtime, on my lunch break, my break, where I'm supposed to be marking papers, doing all of this, I'm going to make time for this kid.
Yeah. And as you said, is to go in the above and beyond.
Do you think I remember all of my other teachers?
No, but you remember those guys. You remember the ones that went above and beyond for you.
Even if it didn't manage to hit home in the way, it still made an impact on me.
Yeah, it made an impression on you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think everyone always remembers those teachers that... I had one, Miss Day, who just... she was my psychology teacher, but I don't know. I would say she went above and beyond, but she was just always there to help, like always there to just give you advice and support. Like if you needed to go and talk to her at lunchtime and breaks and stuff like that, she was available. You remember those teachers that went above and beyond. Did you have any social workers or youth workers or that went above and beyond for you? To your recollection, you don't have to say yes just because I'm a social worker. There was at least
one teacher in every school.
One teacher in every school.
But this is my thing now. When there's one teacher in every school, one prison officer on every wing that goes above and beyond, you're designated as this one person, and now your capacity is reduced because now you're the only person people can rely on. You're the only person people want to go to for support. The only person people want to go to for help.
And then they can't do that anymore. And then you've then lost that person.
That's what I'm saying. There needs to be incentive. There needs to be a pay rise. There needs to be these people that are going above and beyond and doing the things that are actually supposed to be done and more.
Yeah.
Instead of just being And like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not judging the people that just want to go to work and go home.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. If you're putting food on the plate for your on the plate for your family and like providing for your family, if that's your be all and end all, there's nothing wrong with that, because nothing outside of your family is your obligation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're going to be in these roles, yeah, it's about people being honest with themselves and where they're at. If you don't have the capacity for that, let somebody else that does have the capacity do that role. But there needs to be incentive for that person
to do that. Yeah. I want to touch on the work that you're doing now, because I think that is really important work. And obviously where you've come from, where you've been, I think we see a lot of care leavers that aren't sort of using their experiences to help others or to sort of make that impact. That's not a slight on them or anything like that, because I think when you've had lots of those early childhood experiences, it just makes life and adulthood a lot harder. But for yourself, you've been able to go beyond the narrative. So, cheeky little segue there. So, talk to me about that.
I've always been somebody that's got a big heart. I've always been very caring, etc. But I just haven't had the resources, tools, the knowledge to be able to care for people properly. So the way that I used to care for people when I was younger wasn't maybe the best. Like, it didn't manifest the best. It didn't come out the best.
I don't think you were shown how to do it, though.
Exactly. So I've had to learn on my own as time's gone on. And whilst I was in prison, this last sentence, so I've been to prison 3 times now, yeah, from the age of 16 to, say, when was my last? I came out of prison at 25.
Okay.
That was my last sentence. During that sentence, yeah, I was supporting people, figuring out, like, what do you want to do when you come out, helping people to write out business plans, doing all of this stuff, just trying to pour back into myself. And there was people that were coming into the prison. So my last prison that I was in was an open prison. There were people coming into the prison doing talks, doing events and stuff. And I thought this is just all voluntary.
Yeah.
And then I started asking questions. People like, they actually get paid for this. I'm like, oh, like, this is a job. How much do you get paid? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Inquisitive.
Yeah. And now I'm like, okay, this is actually something I can make a living off of. It's not just people doing things. But I felt like the bar was set very low.
Yeah.
It's people coming saying, this is where I was, this is where I am now. It's not like a philosophy or anything. It's just showing the resilience, just to inspire people. And like, that's all well and good. But if there's no tools, resources, like, there's a plethora of different things that need to be addressed.
Yeah.
You know, like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. For somebody to be able to get to a particular level, you need to be able to...
To the actualization, isn't it? You need your base levels met.
Yeah. Okay. Me and my friend have actually created our own kind of, we've called it a wheel of needs, yeah? Which we're going to be speaking about very soon. We'll be posting about it, etc.
We'll put the links to it.
Because we feel like when you don't have stability, like in terms of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you don't have stability, you don't have all of these things. Sometimes actualization is what you need to be able to get all of those other things.
All of those. How so? Like, you need to know where you're going or where you want to go?
Yeah, if you're living in chaos.
Yeah.
You might be homeless, this, that, whatever, but in terms of actually getting to a place where you can sort out housing, you need to get to a place where you understand purpose.
Yeah.
And you have to want to leave all of this stuff behind, and it's so difficult that actualization might be the first thing that you need to do.
Yeah. To inspire
sit
you
with yourself.
to do everything else.
Yeah, you got to sit with yourself and understand, who am I for me to be able to work backwards now and think about housing, building positive relationships, all of this stuff, identity.
Yeah.
When you don't have identity, you need to figure out your identity to figure out how to do all of this other stuff. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you, definitely.
So in terms of like all of that understanding when I was in prison, coming out, it's just like, if I actually care about people, I need to be the best version of myself first and foremost to be able to support these people to the degree that I want to support. So what can I do? And I've wanted to create something that can help people externally. Like, I'm passionate about helping people.
Yeah.
But what I've realized, is so many organizations exist that can help people externally, but the people closest to them, around them, these organizations can't actually help them. Do you get what I'm saying?
In terms of like helping, so you've got the individual, you mean in terms of helping like their family and friends, or?
Family, friends, the people, your immediate circles and stuff like that. What you've created helps strangers.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? but it's not helping the people that you actually know. And for me, if I'm just helping strangers, that's not good enough for me.
Yeah.
I need to have resources and tools that can actually help the people I know firsthand as well. Otherwise, it's not fulfilling.
Yeah.
What kind of life for me is that, yeah? Not to knock anybody that is in a position that is doing things like that, yeah? Because you're still doing amazing work. But for me personally, if I can't help the immediate people around me, I feel like I'm falling short.
Yeah.
So I came out of prison and I've joined Spark Inside's Champions group. And I'm having conversations with different people that's been out of prison for a year, 2 years, for example. And I'm saying, I'm getting to hear how far they've come in that period of time.
Yeah.
So I can measure myself against their successes and say, okay, if he's done that in 2 years, what can I do in 2 years? If he's done that in 1 year, what can I do in 1 year?
I think even just as to begin with is that he's been able to do this.
And he's still out of
He's
prison.
still out of prison. So it's like, I can do that and I don't have to go back.
But then what's hit me is, then bro saying to me, oh yeah, I've been volunteering for this organization for the past 2 years. You're not getting paid. He still has trouble with his housing. He's still got debts. He's still got this, that, a plethora of problems.
Yeah.
But the organization that's supposed to be passionate about helping people is having this guy volunteering, telling me his story, re-traumatizing himself, going through all of this hurt. They're generating funding, they're generating this and using his story for their benefit. He's not getting nothing out of it.
Yeah.
It's painted as an opportunity. So I'm like, what can I actually do? So me having my own organization allows me, you see like what you're saying about the people with lived experience making the decisions.
Yeah.
I get to be my own boss and I get to make the decisions.
Yeah.
I get to create something that can actually support these individuals. And I know if there's somebody that, if I've got an opportunity for you to be able to work with me, I know I'm actually going to pay you.
Yeah.
You don't need to just be doing volunteering.
Volunteer work, no.
Like, let's build you up.
And the way, and if you're building them up, then they can go out and build others up. And,
it's a ripple effect, yeah.
It is a ripple effect, isn't it? Because then their housing gets stable. Then they can, they can start thinking about their future, and they can start planning towards it. And I think that's really special. Is there a project that you're really proud of, or something that you just sing, like you're up at night and you're like, oh, that was dope, wasn't it? Like, that was
yeah,
great.
I would say, so obviously in terms of what my organization does overall is training and consultation for organizational staff that has a duty of care. So whether that be social workers, all of the other things that I've said, teachers, etc. Then the other side is using my story to create blueprints, philosophies, and create workshops surrounding these philosophies. So whether that may be about identity, entrepreneurship, actualization.
The mosquito loves you, bro.
I'm saying, when you're blessed, you're blessed. Yeah, things come at you in different ways. So actualization, resilience, knife crime, etc. All of these different things. Yeah, using my story to create blueprints to be able to guide others and support others that may be going through the same things.
Yeah.
In terms of something that I'm proud of, I would say there's two kind of staple workshops that we deliver. So one's called Spot the Ops. Proud of that because of the play on words, So Spot the Ops is about spotting opportunities in everyday life. So I've created a board game and a card game. I'm not going to go too much into that.
That's okay. We'll tag those things.
Yeah, I've created a board game and a card game that's part of the workshop to help people to be able to broaden their horizons and spot opportunities in everyday life, basically. Come up with business ideas, see what's actually accessible and available to them.
Yeah.
When you believe in yourself, like these are the capabilities, this is where you can get to, this is what you can do. Because oftentimes when I speak to people about changing their life around, they'll be like, yeah, but what is there for me to do? What's out there for me? What is something somebody like me can do? Oh, I've got a criminal record, who's going to employ me? But a lot of the time, everything's about agency and independence.
And they need the information to know.
Like you need to be able to see the clear pathway.
Yeah, you do. And then also, like, in terms of you talking about the inspirations of the people that you saw, like others coming out of prison now will see you as that inspiration.
There you go.
To be like, what are those opportunities that
Javel if he's done it, I can do it. Ego. Like, let ego be your... when it comes to things like that, be egotistical.
Yeah. Why can't I do it?
Yeah, be egotistical. The same way you was on the streets, doing whatever you was doing, I'm going to sell more drugs than that guy, or I'm going to be a bigger drug... Be egotistical. If he can change his life around, why can't I?
Why can't I?
Like, so that's one thing, that's Spot the Ops. The other thing is a term that I kind of came up with last year called collective individualism. So for me, what that means is the way society treats it, we're all social creatures. And you might end up a part of a community based on geographical coincidence, happenstance.
Yeah.
You end up living on a particular estate. You might go to a certain school that makes you end up getting involved with a particular gang or group of people.
Because if you're living in Cambridge, you might be less likely to be in a gang than if you're living in central
Do you understand? So whatever it is, it's just community, yeah? But what tends to happen is when people don't have that identity, they start forgetting who they are. They don't really know who they are. They're trying to figure it out. So they start adopting the ideologies, mindsets, thought processes of these communities who may not be in alignment with who they truly are, but you've forgotten who you are. So you need to do some soul searching. But because you are not in a position to do that, you just do what that community says and thinks is acceptable. You're not doing what you say and think is acceptable. You're saying, I'm doing this because
everyone else do it.
Everyone is doing it, but that's not what you're viewing in your mind. You're doing it because this is what I want to do. It's not. When you actually take a step back, you're doing it because everybody else is doing this. Yeah? So this course teaches you about finding yourself and grounding within your identity, culture, all of these things, getting to know you, figuring out your trajectory. Where do you actually want to get to? Bringing you back to like that childlike state when you was like, oh, I wanted to be a police officer, or I wanted to be a doctor, or whatever it may be.
Astrophysicist, or
what are your actual interests? Yeah? And then once you've got grounded in all of this, then now you can think about, who do I need around me? Who's my community? And more so, when you're grounded in your person, then even if you are a part of a community, one, you can make the decision whether you want to be there or not. And two, if you decide that you still want to be there, now you can think about, how can I better serve my community, and how can my community better serve me? Because you know who you are. So you know what people within this community are the best people to support you on your journey, and then vice versa. Do you get what I'm saying? It's about accountability. It's about being around like-minded people. And if you don't know who you are, how can you be around somebody who's like-minded?
Yeah, they say what your net worth is your network.
Yeah, so it's that same saying. If you're around four millionaires, more than likely you're going to be the fifth millionaire.
Yeah.
So community matters so much. And that's something that's managed or allowed me to solidify my change. The first 2 times I came out of prison, I wasn't exposed to a new community.
Yeah.
So I went straight back to the old communities.
And that's what happens a lot. People get released out of prison and they go back to the same situation they were in. The same people are around them. It's the same struggles. It doesn't set any of them up to then not commit crime again, because you're thinking, oh, I'm back in the same place. Might as well just do what I was doing before. It will end up being in the same. You end up going back to the same place, but you're probably feeling a bit hopeless because you're like, I'm back here again.
But what else is there for me?
Yeah.
This is this is the people that I know. And if all the people that you know are not challenging these mindsets and behaviors and ideologies, now you're going to feel like a madman.
Yeah.
You'll genuinely feel crazy, bro.
Because you're like, why is no one talking
You're going to go through a whole identity crisis again, because you're going to feel crazy. And that's something that I've had to experience when I was trying to make transitions, because I had to take a step back and think, all right, cool, I'm popular because I'm angry, I'm reactive. And something happens, I'm gonna crash out.
Yeah.
Yeah? I might show lack of fear in a circumstance because I'm angry. I don't really care what's going on. I might be scared inside somewhere, yeah? But because I'm angry, so people are viewing it as, oh, this guy's fearless, or this guy's whatever. I've got friends because of all of this. Now, when I start working on myself or thinking about working on myself, now I'm thinking, I'm not gonna have any friends. I'm not going to be popular anymore.
Yeah.
All that security that I had because of the fear element is going to vanish. So who am I going to be?
And you're losing that identity.
So I'm going through another identity crisis.
You're going through another identity crisis, but you don't know what this new one's going to be yet, do you? So you're in this phase of like, who am I? Where do I want to go? Who do I want to be? This is where I've been told and who I previously was. Yeah. That's comfortable. Should I just go back there and that battle?
Everything comes with experience. So I would say, and I had this conversation with somebody the other day, and I'm saying, like, I'm pretty naive right now. Naive. I don't know what this life looks like.
Yeah.
This is something that's completely new to me. All I know is I have to do things that the old me wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that person anymore.
No.
So I have to do completely different. I don't know what this looks like, so I'm completely naive. I try to look at the world with fresh eyes, being non-judgmental, because I know the depths of darkness that people can get to. Yeah. So it's just like, if somebody does something to me that's disrespectful, rude, or people may perceive as rude, I'm just like, they're just at a different stage of their journey. There's nothing for me to be upset about. And that puts me in in kind of a weird place, because on one hand, yeah, I'm quite vulnerable. On the other hand, I know that I'm good because I'm not doing anything that I shouldn't be doing. Do you get what I'm saying? but I'm in like a weird limbo state, just trying to become, essentially.
Yeah.
But because you don't know what you're trying to become, you've never been there. Yeah, there's no kind of blueprint for that.
I remember a quote, someone said, everyone's doing life for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, so you don't know what it's like until you get there. And obviously you can see what other people are like, but it will never be what it's like until you're there.
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, in terms of everything that we've talked about, Javel, is amazing. And I thank you for coming on and being so vulnerable and talking about your experiences. I hope I haven't came across too social worky. Apparently people say I social work them. I don't know if you feel like I've done that today.
Nah, it was good still.
But if there's a final thing in terms of that you would want, like, a younger Javel to hear, like Black boys similar in your boat, what would you say to them?
I would say to my younger self, or to any young people kind of going through similar situations to myself, yeah, pour into yourself as much as you can. And oftentimes it's very easy to do bad or to do things that people don't agree with. It may make you feel powerful at the time, but at the end of the day, you're only shorting and kidding yourself. When it comes to real life and being a man or getting to a place of success, you have to think about the people you care about and how you care about yourself. Like, what does that actually look like? And I say this because it wasn't until one of my close friends passed away and I stood at the funeral, I wasn't able to cry until I saw his dead body, and tears started flowing from my eyes. But in that moment, I felt like a hypocrite. And the reason I felt like a hypocrite was we're never short of people telling us, yeah, this life will either end you up dead or in prison. Everybody's been told that, everybody's heard it. Now, one of my close friends had passed away, and I'm angry that I've lost my friend, but all that was going through my mind is, whilst my friend was alive, I did nothing to keep him alive. Even though I was told how it would end up, I did nothing to stop him from ending up there. Do I really care about him as much as I say I do? Do I really care about the people that I say I care about as much as I say I do? And that was the shift for me, to analyze the actions and the thought processes. Is what I'm saying in alignment with my actions? I'm saying I want to care about people, I want to make a difference, I want to support people, I might want to be a millionaire. Am I doing millionaire things? Think about whether your actions are in alignment with what you say you want for yourself and what you say you want for the people around you. There's no point getting upset once your friend ends up in prison, you miss them now. You did nothing to stop them from going to prison. Your friend ends up in a grave, you did nothing to stop them from ending up in a grave. Don't be a hypocrite. Love yourself and love the people around you.
And I think that is great, and quite beautiful in terms of, as you said, you were crying, but you felt like a hypocrite because you didn't do anything to stop that from happening.
Yeah.
And there'll probably be some boys that will listen to that and will be quite challenged by that. But then also at the end of the day, you can do different. You can be different. Just 100%.
Because nobody's saying it's easy.
Yeah. No, nothing's easy, innit? Nothing's easy in life. Like, to be a millionaire, it ain't easy.
Drug dealing, like, selling drugs, doing
ain't
all the
easy.
things that I was doing, it wasn't easy. Because there's bits of you that is taken away from. And at the end of the day, waking up, like, forget even waking up, not going to sleep, being in a crack den, yeah, where there's blood splattered on the walls and people injecting and doing this and doing that. There's threats of people kicking off the door, police kicking off the door. You're getting threats of being stabbed, shot at. You've got to look over your shot. It's not easy.
No.
It's not easy.
It's not easy at all.
Yeah, so change is not easy, but you've got to come to a point in life where you make the decision, and this is what I'm doing. The same way that you decided that you was going to do whatever you was going to do, yeah, because you felt like it was the best thing at the time. Once you have that acknowledgement that this is no longer for you, you do what you can to get to the next place. Yeah, keep moving forward.
Javel, can you plug yourself for me, please? Tell people where to find you, and if they want to work with you. I will put it all in the show notes, but I also I like my guests to hype themselves.
All right, so www.beyondthenarrative.co.uk, on LinkedIn, Javel Watt, that's Javel. WATT. Social media, Instagram, Beyond the Narrative, BTM, and yeah, that's where you'll find me. Anybody needs any support, I'm always happy to help. Whatever we can do to connect, find some sort of alignment. We're all about making rippling effects and making a difference, showing up in the world as the change that we want to see. And that's not something that we can do on our own. We have to be able to come together. No more working in silos. If we can collaborate, let's collaborate.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, my bro.
All right, much appreciated. Oh, I think that was perfect. So thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Black and Raw podcast. I'm going to keep this short and sweet because the episode is already running long. I really thank you for watching this episode of the Black and Raw podcast. Go and follow me anywhere. Here's Black and Raw. Here's Tino Talk. Wherever you find me, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Like, go listen, and yeah, let me know what you thought of the episode wherever you're commenting. And I really hope you enjoyed the episode with Javel. All of his details are also in the show notes, so go and check him out. And if you're maybe an institution, if you want Javel to work, if you want to work with Javel, then link him up, because he's an awesome dude, and he's been through a lot, and I'm glad he's using that to empower others. So thank you very much for watching, my friend. Thanks, bro. Talk to you soon.